Today, we're going to be creating artwork using concentric lines. That means that we're going to be creating the same line over and over again. I'm going to be using hearts for my shape, but if you'd like to use a different shape, that's okay. I'm going to begin with a red construction paper, and I'm going to cut it in half so it's a little bit smaller. Once I cut it in half, I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to use the folded side to draw a shape. So you make sure you have your open side and your folded side. On the folded side, I'm going to draw 1/2 of a heart. Then I'm going to very carefully cut that heart out and lay it on top of my white paper. Once it's on my white paper, I'm going to trace it a few times. Mine's really big, so it may only fit 3 or 4 times. It's also okay if it hangs over the page. If your heart is smaller, try to trace it as many times as you can so it fits and looks really nice. Once you've traced your heart as many times as you can, I want you to create your own smaller hearts in the extra space. So I'm going to create some nice big hearts that fill up the rest of my space. If you're not using a heart and you're doing a different shape, just repeat this process using your shape that you are using. Then get a glue stick. You're going to be gluing down your original paper heart in one of the places where you traced it. Now it's time to get your Sharpie and go over top of all of your pencil lines. If you have a Sharpie or a black marker, or if you don't, you could use a black crayon, a black colored pencil, anything you have that's nice and dark, I'd like you to go over all of your pencil lines. Once you're done tracing all your hearts, we're going to begin our concentric circles. Remember I said that concentric just means repeating. So I'm going to be filling in my hearts with repeating heart shapes until I get all the way to the middle. So I'll start on the outside and repeat that heart shape until I fill the whole thing up. You want to make sure that none of your lines touch the other lines. Please repeat this process on all the empty hearts that you have on your paper. Once all my hearts were filled up, I decided to use the rest of my empty space to just repeat some smaller hearts throughout my paper. You don't want to leave a whole lot of empty or what we call negative space behind our hearts, because when we go to color this, it will make it a little bit trickier. So I'm going to fill up all my empty space with repeating shapes that match my larger shapes. Remember, if you're not doing a heart, just repeat whatever your shape is throughout your paper. Once you have your paper filled up, you can begin to color in your background, or what we call our negative space. So use your black marker or Sharpie or whatever you have that you're using to fill in your color or outline with, and make sure that you have no empty spaces when you're finished. When your work is all finished and it's colored nicely with no scribbling and no empty spaces, I want you to take a nice, good picture of just your artwork and send it to me on Seesaw.